Welcome to my chow line. I'm Tracy Lingle. We're in Palatka, Florida, at the airport at Skydive Palatka, setting up to cook dinner for tonight. It's July 5th. Big event going on tonight for the guys that are jumping today. They'll be doing accuracy jumps today and tomorrow, and then Sunday will be intentional water jumps, so that ought to be fun. So tonight we're going to be doing smoked chicken, green beans, cornbread, mashed potatoes and gravy, salad, and of course cobbler. So stay tuned, see how we're doing. All right, so we have whole chickens that we're going to spatchcock. I've done this in a previous video, so you know how it's done. Basically, you're taking the chicken, you're cutting the spine out of the back of it, and then filleting it over, so that way it cooks more evenly, and we're going to season it up. Got to get the gizzards, the heart. And you're just going to cut that spine down the back. You really want some good heavy-duty shears, like game shears from the hunting section or butchering style. We're going to set that aside. So now you kind of break it, and so that's basically what we'll have is our spatchcock chicken. Flies are out in numbers today. Take that wingtip off there. That'll just burn. All right, and then we'll season this up. We're going to be using Grill Your Ass Off Willie Pete seasoning for our chicken today. Great seasoning, great all-purpose seasoning for chicken. Got a little bit of heat to it. Man, it's something else. I've had it on multiple things. It's really, really good. So we're going to season it up. I've got probably 30 chickens to do, so I'm going to show you. We're at an airport, so sorry. I got about 30 chickens to do, so I'm going to show you what we're doing seasoning-wise, but it's going to be the same. I got to keep going, get them all on, so I can start getting them on the smoker. I've got to get them done for dinner tonight, so. All right. We're going to season up really, really well. Get everything. And we're even going to flip it over. Put a little bit on the bottom here. Trim off a little bit of this fat. Make sure you're getting all the joints. We want this to help with dry that skin out a little bit, so it makes it nice and crispy when we cook it up. And we'll set it aside and move on to the next one. Look how juicy that is. Comes apart super easy. So much flavor. Come on, man. That's good stuff right there. Juicy, right in even the wings are juicy. Not dried out at all. Didn't even baste them. All right, guys, out here in Palatka, Florida, Skydive Palatka, RCPT-USA, Round Canopy Parachute Team, USA, and Palatka, Florida. Just want to let you guys know what's going on. I want to give a shout out to Grill Your Ass Off Seasonings. Awesome, amazing brand, company, veteran owned, Texas made. Check them out, grillyourassoff.com/mychowline, or use mychowline at checkout for 10% off. You get all these. You got cool t-shirts, you got seasonings, sauces, condiments, you name it, they've got it. Check them out. The seasonings are phenomenal. Everyone here has been raving about it. I cooked smoked chicken with the Willie Pete chicken last night. It was awesome. I'm doing pork butts today. I'm using the mangoes, crispy mango habanero, and then also the infidel pork rub. It's going to be amazing. I know it is because I've used both those seasonings before. They are awesome. Check out my other videos on my YouTube channel, My Chow Line on YouTube. Hey guys, love it. Thank you. Grill your ass off. Skydive Palatka, round camp parachute team on location here, Palatka, Florida. Having a great time. Really hot, but awesome. A great time. We had smoked chicken last night, mashed potatoes, green beans, cornbread. I even did a jalapeno cheddar cornbread. It was really good. Salad, and we're going to enjoy that. Tonight we're going to have pulled pork, French fries, watermelon, salad, and cobbler. So we had cobbler last night. We had apple and peach last night. We're going to have cherry, apple and peach tonight. So, but we're going to prep our meat. I have a video online about how to do pulled pork, so check that video out if you want more details. This is going to be kind of a short and sweet, but we're going to be using Grill Your Ass Off seasonings. We're going to be using the infidel pork rub, and we're also going to be using the Crispies mango habanero. Really good stuff. So stay tuned for more stuff. Sorry for the ambient noise of the fan going, but we're trying to keep the flies off because they are really bad out here. They want to eat this too. So I'm drying off the meat, get some of that sliminess off, so when we go to season, we'll get it on everything and it should stick nice and won't be watered down. And it's been too hot for the apron. I started off with the apron yesterday, man, and it's bad. So I'm just going to run the risk and try to be careful not to get a bunch of stuff on me. Alright, so I'm doing this one with infidel pork rub, and I'm doing that one with the Crispies mango habanero. So we'll have a spicy and a not so spicy, but this infidel pork rub is amazing. So we're gonna open it up, get it inside there. Downside to having the fan is blowing the seasonings everywhere. That's why I'm doing it in the tray. That way stuff doesn't blow all over the table. It's more than it already is. Guys, make sure you're seasoning your meat properly. This is a large piece of meat. You want to make sure you cover it really good, because when this, it's going to penetrate some, but when you shred this up, you want that flavoring all over all the pieces of meat. So you got to make sure you season it really well. Cover it up. Don't be bashful. All the sides, inside. This is a boneless one from Costco. Sometimes you get them from Walmart and Kroger and all the other supermarket stuff that have the bone in. You won't have to worry about seasoning the inside, but you still want to make sure you season all the edges. You can take, plop it around in the seasonings is in the bottom of the tray. Alright, so now we're going to wrap that in foil and let it rest. And we'll do the other ones with the Crispies mango habanero. Another shout out, armedforces.press. Check out armedforces.press for military news that's not from the military. Alright, remember I used the infidel, Grill Your Ass Off infidel pork rub on this one, on these two. And then I used Crispies mango habaneros on this one right here. These are both great seasonings. Amazing. This is going to be awesome.
Like you.
Come on in here and get a little closer. It just falls apart just like that. This is a pork shoulder with Crispies mango habanero from Grill Your Ass Off. Smells amazing, and it is super hot. Wow. We're going to add a little bit more seasoning. This is gonna make some awesome barbecue sandwiches. All right, and that's it. Done. Don't even need the claws. Thank you, guys. Hey guys, Tracy Lingle from My Chow Line. I just want to give a big shout out to all the veterans who submitted videos for the 4th of July video. Thank you so much for it. Special shout out to Chris Hall. Thank you for sharing your video with us. I also want to thank you in a way of having you come on My Chow Line and tell me your story, your favorite or most memorable food story from your time in the service. Thank you so much. Happy 4th of July, guys. All right, so I'm gonna be making some cobbler. Prepping these for tonight. Go ahead and have them ready to go. Already mixed up, ready to go. All I gotta do is heat them with charcoal and off to the side. So this is a 14-inch Cabela's Dutch oven. Lodge makes good Dutch ovens as well. You can use them. This recipe is mine for these Dutch ovens. The ratios are similar to other Dutch ovens, but this is mine. So I've got 3 14-inch Dutch ovens that we're gonna be using tonight. We're making a cherry cobbler, apple cobbler, and a peach cobbler. All of them are assembled the same way, minus 1 or 2 little details with the cherry cobbler, because we're gonna make it a little extra by adding a little cream cheese to it. That's the only thing different about the cherry, but they're all using the same other ingredients other than the fruit itself. So we're using Krusty's cinnamon swirl muffin mix. That's what we use for all of it. Now I'm gonna be using a gluten-free for the cherry cobbler, because we do have individuals that can't have gluten, so we're using that. But the Krusty's brand gluten-free one, same thing. It's just this has gluten, and the gluten-free doesn't have gluten. So Krusty's, really good product. I like it. And then we're using canned peaches, sliced peaches in light syrup and in heavy syrup. So pie filling topping mix, and also light syrup. You want a little juiciness in it, because the breading, we're doing a dump cobbler versus an actual like mix up. We're not mixing this up like it says for the muffin mix and pouring it on top. We're adding it in dry. And so the juices from the fruit and whatever other liquid we add is what fluffs up the breading. So I'm going to go ahead and start opening these cans up and get them in there. We'll show you what it looks like as we're going. Alright, so now we've got we used the Krusty's. We did 1.5 packages on. I did 1 package, added 1 can of peaches on top of, once I did a layer on top, and then I spread it around, added the other half and brown sugar, and now we're going to add a little bit of liquid to help cover this all up. And I'm using ginger ale. You can use apple juice, you can use Sprite, you can use water, but the sweetness from the ginger ale, and it adds a little bit of something extra to it. That's the key ingredient, I believe, is the ginger ale. That's what makes it good. And all we're doing is we're just trying to coat this upper crust area so that way it gets moist. And you can see I lined my Dutch ovens with aluminum foil. make it easier to clean up. And then, you know, at the end of the night, especially, this is going to be a dessert. It's going to be end of the night, late. We're already having to clean up from dinner. It just makes it simpler. You can do this in a Dutch oven straight up without having to use aluminum foil, but it just, you have to rinse it and all that stuff. This just saves that. I do grease it with a little bit of oil before I put the aluminum foil in. It helps the aluminum foil stick in there a little good. And also, if anything does leak out, it will help prevent it from burning or sticking to the bottom. So we're going to cover this up, and I'm going to make the other ones up. We're going to do everything the same, and then I'll show you the difference with the cherry with adding the cream cheese. But I'm going to do the apple just the same as this. All right, so here's where we're going to do the apple. For the apple, I am going to do something a little, it's not different for me, but different than the peaches, because we didn't find any good peaches that were fresh. I do like to add fresh fruit in with the canned fruit for my cobblers. It adds a different texture, because when these cook down, they cook down really good with the other stuff. So I'm going to slice up some, usually I mix up different kinds of apples, but I just grabbed a couple apples, do some fresh apples in here, and mix them with the canned apples for our apple cobbler. So, all right, so we've added our cherries in. Now we're going to take some cream cheese, and we're just going to take and just drop some squares of cream cheese all throughout. This will help knock down some of the acidity from the tartness of the cherries and give it an extra creamy texture to it. It's you can use it with with any of the berries, like blackberry cobbler or blueberry cobbler or mixed berries. It just adds an extra layer of flavor, which is always good. We're always into extra layers of flavor. We're just going to keep adding, we're going to add 2 sticks of cream cheese in this because it's going to melt down and make nice and creamy. Flies are crazy. I got a fan blowing and the flies are still sticking around, so it's just not as bad as they are without a fan, because good Lord, they're everywhere. But this nice Florida heat and humidity, it's been hot today. You can tell I had a towel around my neck because it got so hot out here. Nice wet towel, iced down. The field temperature was 106 today. It got up to like a 93, but 55% humidity. Ain't no joke. Probably end up using a stick and a half of the cream cheese. Basically covering just the top of this, and then I'll mix it a little bit, press it down. All right, and then for rest of the way on, it's the same thing. We'll put breading on top, the brown sugar crust, and get it ready to go on the heat. All right, so what we've got here is we've got charcoal that is underneath. The way these Dutch ovens work, if you've never used one before, is you line the bottom with a few coals because heat rises, so you only want a few down below. So we're going to set it on there. All right, and now we've added coals on top. You want to have about twice as many on top as you have on the bottom. And then we're going to do another one where we're doing we're stacking them on top of each other, making a chimney. So the heat will rise, but you have to rotate every so often. But if you're just doing it by itself, you just come along occasionally and rotate the lid, and then lift up the Dutch oven and rotate it around to make sure you get good even heat. So we're stacking them up and we're cooking them. Make sure it's on flat level ground so that way it doesn't tip over. But yeah, so this is what we're looking like. It's getting close to being done. Once it starts boiling up, that bread starts browning, you're good to go. It usually takes about 45 minutes to cook this all the way through, depending on how thick and how much cobbler you have in there. These are probably taking close to 45 to an hour. But I started it right as I served food, so that way it would be ready to go once everybody settled down, finished their meal, and then we'll serve it with ice cream, and it'll be an awesome thing. All right, welcome to my chow line, man.
All right, good to be here, brother.
Welcome. So tell everybody your name, where you served.
I'm Matt Anderson. I was United States Army. I served from 82 to 91 and then 98 to 2004. I served in 82nd, 1st ID, 3rd and 5th Special Forces Group, and then a couple of SOCs in Special Warfare Center at the end of my career. I was in Naval Special Warfare and I was an adjunct instructor at the Marine Corps Basic Reconnaissance Force.
Nice. All right. So you've been on multiple deployments then.
I've been on a couple, not as many as a lot of the younger cats who just. I have friends that have 13 deployments to Afghanistan, and I was out before all that was happening.
Okay.
I've got a couple.
All right. So you've had your share of military food.
I have had a little bit of military food. Yeah.
And you were telling me earlier about the memories that you have.
So Tracy asked me about did I have any amazing meal or something that stuck in my head? And it's odd, but the thing that sticks in my head wasn't so much a specific garbage meal or amazing meal when we were, wherever we were. The thing that stuck in my head was the MRE stuff that we would do as young soldiers, which was just created. I'm pretty sure that at some point there was like an MRE cookbook that somebody did where you were creating all this weird shit. Can I say that word?
Yeah, you can.
And I remember, we would take peanut butter and creamer and dehydrated peaches, and we're making cobbler. We weren't making cobbler, but in my head, I remember it tasting really good. It probably didn't, but in my memory of that time, being in the field and being miserable and bonding with the guys over food, because that's really what it was really good in my memory. Whether it was or not is unimportant. It was the camaraderie and coming together over that, and everybody, put some of that in there, put more creamer in, peanut butter, you need some peanut butter. And then if somebody said, Tabasco, you just kick them the hell out. That's not for cops.
No. All right, well, so we've gone over the food part, so is there any other memorable deployments you had?
They're all memorable. I mean, I did Gulf One. I was with 3rd Special Forces Group in Gulf One, and then I was back in Iraq in 04-05. As far as what everybody seems to call a deployment now, I remember deployments being any time you went over before we were at war 24/7. I went to Morocco. That was my first. That's memorable to me because that was my first anywhere. I was a kid. I was in 1st ID in Germany, and I had never, I went to Canada. That was my overseas experience. And suddenly I was in Morocco, the cruddier parts of Morocco. Food-wise, interestingly enough, so it was a big deal. Don't do that. We had a guy that was medevaced back to Germany because he had a local tangerine. Nothing else. Tangerine, and all of us have been flirting with, the bread's good. Hey, look, it's fine. After that, and I mean, he was legit medevac because they thought he was going to die. Oh, wow. And I don't know to what extent any of that was. I was a kid, but I know that all of us went, nope, we need nothing here. Not again. Nope. So that ended. The thing that's memorable, a little bit of food-wise for that, would be that we thought about it. We were stationed in Germany, and I was always a geek for World War II and all that. So clearly here we are, and about 4 or 5 of us at least, we brought candy for kids, we had no idea where we were going to be, and as it turned out, we went to a lot of villages out in the middle of nowhere. We never saw no Marrakesh or any of that. We saw crappy cities out in the middle of the desert, and that I remember very specifically was very World War II-ish. We would throw candy out, and the kids went crazy. They were just, you know, so we didn't come back with any of that. Every bit of that went out, and then we tried getting anything we could out of MREs and giving that out to kids, because it was, you know, for a young soldier that hadn't experienced any of that, that was really like a lasting kind of cool thing, you know, that we did. And then, you know, within a few years, I was just tainted. So, you know.
Yeah, well, that happens in the military.
Yeah, it does tend to.
After a while, you get a little tainted.
A little bit.
So, all right, well, thank you so much for sharing it.
No, my pleasure.
Is there anything else that you want to say, or
you know,
shout out?
I wish I had a much cooler food story. I do. But,
I think you got some pretty good ones.
You know,
it doesn't have to be a super cool one.
Yeah, and you know, I guess if I was going to say anything, is if there's any younger, anybody, it doesn't have to be a soldier, but if there was any younger soldier watching, or any people that think that something small doesn't mean anything, it's going to be different 20 years from now, 30 years from now. And the smallest thing that seems like it's nothing at that moment is going to be just this amazing memory for you that kicks into your head that may not mean a bunch to anybody else and isn't super exciting. Making MRE, but I remember how great that was at that moment.
Right.
You know, and all of that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I guess we're done.
Yeah, that was you. Yeah, that was you. Oh, strobe lights.
Strobe light.
Oh, strobe. Now we got to put a warning on the video.
So if you have any seizure issues,
seizure warning,
or if you like going to the disco, now you've been there.
Yep. All right. Well, on that note, on that disappointment,
we were so awesome that we killed electricity around us.
That's right. We just sucked all the energy out of the room.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
I'm with you.
Well, thanks again. Make sure you tell everybody your name again.
Matt Anderson.
Matt Anderson. Tracy Lingle, my chow line. Thanks again. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel.
Do it.
Hey, RCPT-USA. Grill your ass off. Warfighter tobacco. War soldier bourbon. Thanks, guys.
Out.
Chapel? Chapel.
Yeah.
Rub my meat.
Yeah. Tracy, it looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Enjoy.
Tracy Lingle still hasn't owned up to his.
All right, guys. This is for posterity in my YouTube channel. I need honest opinions of everything. What you think?
Tastes like chicken.
Pretty awesome.
That was good. No, real good. The habanero pulled pork is on point.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Good
I
stuff.
just like the way you touch my meat.
Absolutely. I like the way I rub my meat too.
Rub my meat.
All right, guys. I'm recording for my YouTube channel, guys. Let me know.
Delicious.
Absolutely delicious.
All right.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. All right, clean plate. There you go. There you go.
We came a little too late for us.
Oh, that's all right.
Not clear because I'm savoring.
Oh, there you go. Well, there probably will be more.
Tracy, unbelievable.
Thanks.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep, Banana Man. I don't know who's next to him. Go, Kurt! Woo! Woo! All right, we got a thumbs up from Kurt. Got a thumbs up from the other one. I'm not sure who that is, sorry.